Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk Cricket. I'm your host, Sham, with my co-host Danish Ilyas. It's been a while. We've been busy with our, family and work and all that stuff, but we cannot stop talking about Pakistan cricket. So we are back with episode number 3, and we will be summarizing as to what has happened with Pakistan cricket over the last few weeks. So how are you doing, Danish?
I'm doing well. Just been busy vacationing and a little bit of work about it.
Yeah.
Just be
As
honest.
soon as you take as soon as you take a vacation, you come back to like a million emails and the vacation just goes out like that.
Absolutely.
So so it's not
Absolutely.
really a vacation, it's more of a, I don't even have a word to say it, man.
Yeah.
But we all watched the New Zealand series, so let's talk about that. First of all, you were wrong. It was not a sweep.
Yeah.
The rain screwed you over in the first place with, the first game being a rain out, but after that the series ended with 2-2. What did you think about Pakistan's performance overall with the bat, the ball? I know we talked about two of the games, but Pakistan did a little bit better afterwards. And Babar's captaincy. I know that's something that we've been talking about, and you're off that boat.
Yeah. I'm off that boat. I don't know. I'm off that boat. It has a lot to do with just what a shit show of a management system it is. That's about it. Um, but I would say I would give that to answer your question, I would give that New Zealand series Pakistan's performance probably a C, right? Like C
About
minus, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's still better than I thought what I
Yeah.
think. I just
Yeah.
think it's an F because you played as,
Yeah.
a bloody C team from New Zealand and you
Uh,
still gave them two games with your full squad that you're likely ending up taking to World Cup. One
yeah,
game you lose, okay, but at least win the freaking series, man.
yeah, 100%. And it's on home turf too. Like you just came off PSL. You just came off, you have fresh, you have young blood, you're excited, you have, this team coming in. But yeah, I think one game we got embarrassed.
Yeah,
I think
I forgot that
that's a
like that
different thing
series was
now.
extremely forgettable. It was not really it didn't have much of an oomph. It didn't have anything like exciting in it. Rizwan got hurt,
Mhm.
they didn't play Amir as much. Imad got to play the last two games. Like it was a shit fest. And we'll get
Yeah.
into why that is. But yeah, I would say I would give them an F. I
Mhm.
don't like how they finished this, like how they played in that series. Now, the next topic, and I think it is a very, very important topic. First of all, let's talk about Ireland. So, what did you think about the Ireland series? I know as soon as we started this series, we lost the first game pretty much, like shitholes, and then we
Yeah.
dominated the next two games. What did you take away from the Ireland series?
Okay. I still cannot comprehend or like the justification or the reasoning behind that series. I don't know. I mean, if it was just, hey, let's get the guys warmed up, let's get our new guys in there, Riz, Bobber, some of our veterans, let's take a back seat here. But no, I think it was almost the full squad. You're just coming off two major tournaments where where player fatigue was an issue, and then I don't know if you saw,
Mm.
Rizwan was limping
Oh
in the
yeah,
last game.
yep.
When he was
But
running,
he's
he just came off injury. So someone needs to, like, I don't know is that captaincy or I don't know, is this Mr. Wahab Riaz who's been making a lot of noise for players? And I don't know, like I just I don't know, I cannot fathom it because who's making these decisions, man? Someone's got to step up. Like so soon, nothing's changing. But positive is I'm noticing the last two games now. Is it because it's Ireland's bowling inexperience? But Azam and Rizwan did play aggressively. They're trying to like change that style, but do that against England. Do that against the big guys, right? Like you got a World Cup coming up, so um, this is all we got, man.
yeah.
Regardless with all discrepancies, that's all
I'll,
we have.
so in regards to the squad, first of all, yes, it was surprising to see
Yeah.
even Rizwan, Bopper, and all of these guys still playing in a series where it doesn't matter who the hell, like it's Ireland, bro. Like you still lost the first game with your full squad against them, but give the other kids a chance, right? You got Niazi, you got Usman sitting on the bench, and we'll get to that. And why not rest Rizwan until you get to England, right? So
Absolutely.
it's another shit fest, like you said. And then if I look at the batting wise, I think Saim Ayub is having to carry too much of a load at this time. Like there's too much expectation on this young kid.
Hmm.
Like we're giving him the freedom, but there still needs to be accountability in what he's doing. It seems like he plays the same shot, gets out that way, playing towards the leg side, and he's giving away where there's other kids sitting on that bench who are not as flashy but might be more effective, right? So that was disappointing to see in this whole series. Azam took a step forward. I think it was just a matter of time. He has too much talent for him to not succeed. I think he was playing stupid, and I think with Gary Kristen coming in for the England series, he will get the mentality right for these guys. But if I was to look at it overall, I think the main major positive was Shaheen was bowling well, even in the depth,
Sounded
which
about
has been
better.
his issue.
Yeah.
I think he seemed effective, but like I would like to see there's other players that haven't been given chances that are playing like Usama Mir. I didn't see Shadab in this series, which was good to see. But
He,
why is it? Did he play? I forgot.
I think he played one game, but he didn't play the last game. They brought
Yeah,
Amir.
so I think, why is he the only one that gets to sit out of the veteran people, right? Give Amir more run, give Ahmad one run, give, everybody who hasn't played as much more run. But it seems like Pakistan continues to do what they have been doing. And that, if I was to give this series a grade, I think Pakistan's performance was a B minus. Yes, we dominated Ireland in the last two games, but I think the first game, the way you lost, just takes away everything that you've done for the past two games.
Well, even on the second game, our Pacers got smacked.
True,
Even
true.
the second game, they got smacked around. It was an incredible chase, but um, I mean, at the end of the day, like when you see your ace, like these are the guys that were like, okay, these guys are going to bring us the glory. You look at our history, and then they're getting spanked. Now, could it be because it was a league pitch? I don't know. Is it different?
Yeah,
Who
yeah, it
knows?
might be.
It's not swinging or whatever, but still, like at that level with that experience, you're getting hit for two sixes or whatever. Like change the game. My question is going back to science, like who's coaching, like who's grooming, who is looking at these players and say, okay, it's been 5 games in a row or 6 games in a row, you're hitting a boundary and you're getting out. Like who's having these conversations? I bet you that he's going to the line. He's like, tu killed it. So that's killed it. That's fine. Do your thing. Do your freedom. But that's good. That you're right. I think that's going to cost us some important games. And
I
then
think
there's more pressure on everybody else.
I think there's the fine line in giving the freedom, but at the same time
Yeah.
holding people accountable. Like when we play, bro, like everybody has the right to do whatever they want. But if they keep
Yeah.
doing the same shit again and again, and you know who I'm kind of talking about, the whole team holds them accountable, telling them, hey, stop doing this. This is how you should be batting. I don't know if that's happening in the Pakistan squad. So that kind of goes into the next topic we're going to be talking about, which is the overall management by Pakistan in regards to the way we are managing these players, the way the fitness, the camp, the fitness issues that are coming up, the selection, the overall, like I said, the management of it. What is your opinion? Because I'm not happy, and I know you're not happy. That's why I want you to take the brunt of this and put it out to the viewers. And the thing about also including some people like fucker, etc. So go for it, man. I know you want to get this off of your chest.
Yeah, okay, so there's no professionalism whatsoever. Like it's how do I word this the best way so it doesn't seem off like I'm just venting or whatnot. But the obvious is for me the biggest pain point is that, as I said before, you just come off 2 major tournaments and your top players were fatigued and it was the whole world saw, right? Your star ball. Like at what point are you gonna look at yourself and be like, okay, like we have the talent and like it's they're filtering through so many players and you still have your I guess, main players. Granted, Babar, Rizwan, performance are good, but what is the point of just going out there and making these elaborate, processes and we're going to implement this, we're going to implement that, but nothing happens. Like it's just at what point you're going to feel that shame that you're a laughing stock of the cricket world, right? It's
That's
a
true.
big D minus for me. Only D minus. I'm not giving them an F is because we had episodes in the last like 5 years of some people coming in who were there to make the hard decisions, which is definitely required. But Wahab Riaz is a big disappointment, right? That he's doing nothing, right? You bring all these young players in, but there's no system for them to be rotated. I still think you've ruined Usman Khan's career.
We'll get to that one. We'll get to
Yeah,
that one.
right. And but it is what it is. I don't know if it was for the Ireland series, but if you were following some of the news that are coming in, you know, you had what's it called? One bad loss in Ireland, and your chairman is flying to Ireland to give your players a pep talk. You know,
Yeah,
um, it,
that's what I find
it,
funny. It seems like the
yeah,
chairman is more of the
yeah,
coach rather than the
it,
actual
it,
coach, which is supposed to
yeah,
be somebody who's really reputable in Gary
yeah,
Kristen.
yeah,
So let me ask you this. Was it a
yeah.
mistake for these morons to, first of all, Instagram hits, Facebook's puts, all the wah, we're doing this type of shit. Go to that military camp when you got two series coming
Mhm.
up. You just had PSL, so you sandwich
Yeah.
yourself in there against people who do this on a daily basis, who are going to push
Mhm.
you to your limit, right? That's what military is all about. And now
Yeah.
you got two series, then the World Cup coming up. Do you think it was a mistake given the injuries and the fatigue that some of the players, some of the fittest players like Rizwan, are showing?
100%. What is 1 week of boot camp going to do for you in the long run? Like, do you really think that our Pakistani players have such a great muscle memory system that like it's just going to get activated? But I don't know.
Six packs in a
I
week,
think
right?
it was just showing the fans that like we're doing this and that. I mean, sure, I think it was a publicity stunt. And then I think players did get hurt, right? Rizwan and Azam got the calf problem or something. I don't know. Um,
Niazi,
but yeah, Niazi got her injured as well. Um,
Naseem had a
but
nibble.
Nazeem, I think last game, like there was no talk of Naseem and Shadab whatsoever against Ireland. Like I don't know where they went, but regardless, right? I think the Ireland series management should have been like, okay, well, here's the new blood. Okay, maybe you have your Fakar Zaman or you have your Shaheen in there, sure, whatever, but you should have had like more of the new guys coming in to test them out, see what they're looking like. That's 3 games is a
Yeah.
lot to kind of see, but that didn't happen, of
And
course.
that's the funny thing about this whole PCV issue is that they're afraid to lose, right? Your
Yeah,
full squad lost. Is it to chilegi, right? You're gonna look like shit. It should send in young blood. They do something brilliant,
yeah,
and you end up winning. Or even if they fight hard, at least you're building their confidence. You're building the confidence of your fan base, your
right.
country, in that there's talent coming in. There seems to be no long-term plan. It's like I keep saying, it's bandage after bandage after bandage to, you know, to give a delusional outlook of amazingness to our, the Pakistani fans. And it's utterly ridiculousness because if I was to think about it, the only guy you might want to give the Ireland series to was Fucker Zaman because he's been out of form. And for some reason, you don't want to drop his ass, even though you got Shadab at number 4 and you can
Yeah.
fit Imad in there. And that would be an even better
Mhm.
batting order than there would be. Because that guy dances on spinners. Like I would
Mhm.
even
Yeah,
make him dance, right? So
yeah,
that was questionable to me, but if so, play him, that's fine. But the rest, like
yeah,
Rizwan, he's coming off an injury. Why are you risking it in against Ireland? Go against England,
yeah,
all of those things. So I think it's utter nonsense. And your point about Wahab Riaz is, you know, it's one that you have. I kept telling you, you're one of those PCB, you're one of those Pakistani cricket lovers who like to see the positive, but they're all politicians, man. All of these guys sit
yeah,
on media. They say it's one thing, but they always, as soon as they get the job, it's Ji Hazuri. It's yes, sir. It's, I'm
yeah.
gonna, sir, aap sahi
That's
keh
just
rahe
the
hain.
culture. Yeah,
And if the chairman wanted to take a trip to Ireland on PCB funds, just do it, bro. You know, there's no
Mm.
point in you showing up trying to give a pep talk. What the hell do you have to do with the actual groundwork of cricket in regards to when players are at a tournament and trying to perform, right? Your pep talk doesn't do shit. And
Yeah.
I heard that he's offering some sort of money prize for some sort of World Cup performance. I don't know. What was that?
Yeah, something about if they win, each player's gonna get 100,000, something like that. I don't know. There's
Don't
too much
don't
going
they
on.
already get paid? Don't they get man of
Yeah,
the match? Don't they get a lot of
yeah.
stuff anyways? Like,
I'm normally just catching up on a daily basis, just catching up on some random record Babar Azam made or Rizwan. That's pretty much in the media.
but
But yeah, the money incentive is there, apparently. But is it? I don't know how legit it is. But yeah,
but that's the thing. It's again the whole thing about blowing smoke up the fan base's ass, right? Because why does it matter if they get another 100? Why do you need to let us know,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just give it to them,
It should be the
right?
players after the tournament, right? Who should be giving out that. But like I said, I think it's very reactive to what the media wants. We're making changes based on there's so much uproar in the media. There's tough questions being asked, and then there's lafunges like us, times that by like 7 million podcasts, right? And I think at the end of the day, they are making changes based on media pressure. Like if you look at some of these conferences, the media, like the questions that they're
Yeah,
asking
yeah.
and whatnot, and it's all over the place.
But
But I think you said it best. They're afraid to lose, right? There's no process, there's no structure whatsoever.
But the way I see it is like some of the media that's out there, mainstream media, is trying to sensationalize and trying to get the story because they need hits, right? But if
Yeah,
you look at like people like us who are just fans, who are just putting their opinion, their feelings out there, we're never going to stop believing in this team. We're always going to believe in them.
what we
But
got.
when do you start? Because if there's 1,000 people telling you the same thing, and you're still making that mistake, then you're a complete moron, right? So why not listen to that instead of just going with each and every sensationalized media news that comes out and reacting to it? Like, why is it so hard for this board to just figure out a way to shut out the noise and make the appropriate decisions and
Mhm.
listen to the fan base who actually is the one that believes in them?
Maybe let the cricketers run it.
We had
Let the great.
Ramiz Raja, and then you can't. That's the issue with our country, right? You can't run something as a dictator
Yeah,
unless you're like one of those major players. You're gonna have to kiss some ass.
yeah.
So there has to be some sort of balance, but I'm not saying the balance has to impact the cricket, right? You got to shake hands, you got to do those things, but in the end, you got to do what's best for cricket. The issue with Ramiz Raja was that, and we had his mom running it. We had a lot of people who tried to run it, but issue with him was it was his way or the highway. He wasn't even willing to listen to new ideas that would have done some positives. But that's a topic for another time. Unless you got something to add to that.
I think Ramiz just had too many points to prove. He had his own agenda. Like I think it was
Yeah,
more for a vendetta. Like he came out guns blazing. One thing though, that U19 tournament that he started doing
that
domestically
was
was
decent.
genius. The
It
why it
was a
was
money
genius,
pit,
not
but it was decent.
it- exactly. I think what I liked about what Ramiz did, which showed me, was that it wasn't more so of developing the cricket. He's like that would help in itself, but he targeted those families whose kids, go into the system and then they come back. He's like, look, there's going to be a pay structure from the pool of the 100. I'm going to peg, and then they're going to go there and accept. At least he had that plan, and it was brilliant,
Yeah,
right?
I
And
think
then just
he,
it's gone.
I think you hit it on the head, the nail on the
Yeah,
head, was that he came out guns blazing with stupid ass ideas like 6 months
yeah,
captain and all that shit.
yeah,
You got sometimes you just got to stick to the conventional stuff that
yeah,
everybody else is doing. Copy what everybody else is doing. That's what succeeds. Look at what India did. Look at what Australia is doing. Just copy
yeah,
it, man. Like shit.
yeah,
Why
yeah,
do you have to try your own crap? When something
yeah,
is working, just copy it.
yeah.
Exam में कभी copy नहीं की मैंने.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't try to
Right?
reinvent the wheel, but it's frustrating for sure. It's so frustrating looking at that. It's just like happening in front of your eyes over and over, right? So,
Uh, and
but
now we get to the most frustrating, and I know you've been waiting on this one. Usman Khan. What the hell is going on with him? And what
mm,
do you think about him not playing in Ireland at all?
yeah, that made no sense. I don't know. Like you made such a like debacle about oh, we're bringing him, and you give him an offer, and as a player, you cannot deny his talent, his performance. That's being But the guy, this was his chance to prove that you made that. I mean, if you're going to show the world that you're traveling and going to the military school, why don't you showcase your star player once again, right? It's maybe they're afraid that OP doesn't work. God, you got to give the guy chances. Now on the player front, I have issues with him too because he made that big decision and I think I said it before too. He closed a lot of doors for other domestic players, right? Like that cricket board is not going to be happy with Pakistani
Yeah,
players right now, right?
yeah.
But at the end of the day, back to the main question. I feel like maybe I've been wrong the last two episodes, but a lot of predictions. But I think Usman Khan's career, I mean, I think the same fate for him is going to be a lot of the other guys. Like we've had some greats or potential greats that could have been in our system, but they just got went sent to the graveyard after a few games. Junaid Khan, Mohammad Irfan, okay, well, Mohammad Hafiz killed his own career, but there's so many there's been so many names who are just kind of out of nowhere. So
Do,
it's
do you feel like Usman's inclusion has something to do with Babar and Rizwan's chemistry together and them feeling like, if Usman makes it in, then they're looking at something where Rizwan's role has to change and they don't want to do that,
Mhm.
right?
Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, and then yeah, because Usman plays that aggressive style. That's interesting. It's could be that would be a good idea, and that's kind of logical. I don't know if that's something that we can expect from the thinking tank, but that would be cool. Or maybe it's one of those shots that took in the dark and it hit. I don't know. But yeah, I love his style of play though, Usman Khan. Like the way
Yeah.
he is, he goes. He had a bit of a struggle in the New Zealand series, but I think he made up in the third game. Yeah, definitely the talent is there, but you wanna put him
No,
in
what I
11,
meant,
man.
what I meant was that, like, do you feel like Babar and Rizwan are playing a role in his exclusion, like keeping him
Oh,
out?
his exclusion. Oh, okay, I see. I thought you meant his inclusion. My apologies, I misunderstood. His exclusion could that's hmm, I don't know.
Do you think there's
Yeah,
I'm not saying anybody's saying this. This is just
yeah,
my thinking, is that
yeah,
the past 4 years we've seen a pattern of Babar holding on to his friends. It's
yeah,
like running one of our, like our club. We're gonna hold on to our friends, but this is a professional team.
yeah.
And him promoting his own guys and this and that. And it seems like Usman is not one of his guys. And of course, if Usman comes in, he's likely to come in as an opener, one down, two down, which is all the spots because Babar's not going to give up his spots. It's either opening or one down. So Rizwan would have to do it. Do you feel like Babar's protecting Rizwan in a way?
Huh. It's an interesting thought process. The fact that they're the one include could be possible. I don't know. That's a very, very interesting question. I would say, but on the flip side of it, if that is happening, I still kind of see a guiding light because Rizwan can play, and he's shown that he can play at any of those,
That's true.
right? So now it's on Usman, right? Like wherever he comes, if he comes, to have that mindset to just go perform. Like it's easy for Usman. Like you go there and you perform, right? If you perform and your numbers are there and then they still take you out, then at least you'll have the fans backing you up. Like
Then
right
my
now,
theory would be
yeah,
right, right? Then it
exactly.
would be evidence to
Yeah,
suggest that Babar
yeah,
and Rizwan are playing politics. I don't think Rizzy does. I think Babar is the chalu shit.
yeah,
So then, and I honestly believe he is playing some sort of politics in regards to Usman.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I
Same
think yes.
question to you though now. Now, same question, different player. Do you think now Babur has a hand in Sam Ayub just staying there at the top?
I think yes, and I think there's
Yeah.
also the fact that he Bobber and him have shown in PSL that there's a good combination there. That
Yeah,
Sam has shown lights that he's a brilliant player. I
yeah,
think the what Bobber has a hand in is Sam thinking he is all that when he hasn't earned it yet. If
it's
you
like,
look at it, we
overconfidence.
should be giving him a run. India did the
Yeah,
same thing with Gill when he was struggling in tests. They kept with him. I'm not saying, give him up any of that stuff, but you got to bring him back to the ground, right? You can't
yeah,
just keep letting him fly in the air thinking he's all that based on just PSL. And I think everybody's in so much awe of him that they're going to continue to play him, which is good to do. But Bobber, of course, has a hand to play. He loves playing with Slime.
yeah,
But I think Syme also justifies his spot. I don't think it's primarily on Baba's thing, is because he's performed. Um, he's a young kid who's a little bit inconsistent. I get it, but he also gives you that option as a bowler that can help you in, needs when you need a
yeah,
finger spinner or, all of
yeah.
those things. So I think more than Syme, I question Fucker's selection. I think that is a spot where Usman should be included. Any good spinner will get Fakhr Zaman out at number 4 because he dances like a little bitch. People will say that I hate him. I think he did a great job in the Champions Trophy, but to in a tournament where you have, several amount of games, for him to win you one game and cost you nine, like not performing nine others, will cost you the tournament. You
Yeah.
need players that are consistent. Him scoring 70 against Ireland doesn't shit all for us. He did nothing against New Zealand. He did nothing against what was the name? Prior to that in the Asia Cup, World Cup, any of those things. So I don't see us his selection being justified. So if I was to replace anybody, it will be him, straight
Do you
up.
think, do you think they're bringing Fakhr only because when you think about it, Fakhr is a very experienced player, right? He has a lot of experience, like he's played major tournaments and whatnot. And then him, to me personally, I think Fakhr brought stability, you know, where okay, you know that if Fakhr has, played like 20 balls or so and he's like at 13 runs or whatnot, you know that this guy is gonna come and he's gonna make those runs up. I mean, in terms of the confidence level in the player, personally for me, right? Because I saw him play down that order, and I think it was good because Rizwan, the way he plays, he continued even if Barber went, right? So it was that stability he provided. And then when you think about it, then you have likes of Shadab, and then you have Azam Khan coming, and you have Iftikhar coming. You know, you get two of these guys clicking with Fakhr on the other end at the end when the ball is a little bit older. You have that belief in him. That's just my opinion on him. In terms of selection and whatnot, I think he's going to get selected. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
He'll give one or two performances and he writes his card. He's good to go,
I think
right?
उसके पास he has somebody's dirty video or some shit, but
Yeah,
no, dude, we don't need any more experience, right? The fact is, experience you're in order to take you got Imad now for experience. If Imad wasn't there, you could justify that. Amir for experience, you could justify that. Now you don't need it, right? You rather give that exposure to somebody like Usman, like somebody else
develop.
that would be able to learn from this situation
Yeah, think of the
rather
future.
than wasting their time. Because the next World Cup's 2 years away, right?
Yeah.
So
When is it?
wouldn't you
2026, right?
rather I think so, but wouldn't you rather expose them right now rather than later, right?
Exactly.
So from that point of view, I don't see him justified in his
Yeah.
selection.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're reaching almost the end of our time. The next game, I think it's on 22nd, we start playing England, right?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
What is your prediction for that series? It's 3 games. Are you gonna go for another sweep or are you worried now?
I think Pakistan takes it, right? Only on the basis because what I see changing now with England psychologically, like okay, this is buddy team, right? We have to be on our A game, the player from the player level. I'm thinking the improvement we're going to see is middle over wickets. Pakistan needs to focus on that. If you watch the last few games, like look at the stats and whatnot, we need middle over. We need those wickets. Like
We need
your
a Brar.
Imad, yeah, you need your Shadabs, your Imads, and your Abrars, or even if you're gonna try Ayub, or these middle overs, 7 to 15, you need wickets there. If you look at the Ireland game or whatnot, you had a wicket in the ninth over, then you had a wicket in the 13th or whatever it was, and 15th, and then that's kind of where you go. That's my prediction. The middle over wickets are going to improve compared to the last two series.
All right. And then what's
Pakistan wins
the
the series.
final prediction? Pakistan takes
Pakistan
the
wins the
series. Are
series.
you predicting a
Yes.
3-0?
No, I'm predicting a 2-1.
2-1. Ah, my guy coming back to reality now on this.
Yeah, I'm
The
predicting
funny
two
thing
one.
is, I'm saying Pakistan goes 3-0.
Okay.
I think
Interesting.
they because I feel like England right now is on the ropes. England doesn't have an identity anymore, especially with Ben Stokes leaving the middle order. Not playing this World
Mm,
Cup. The fact is that England is going to struggle. England is still trying to figure things out. So they're a little bit vulnerable in this series. Now, I'm not predicting they will be the same in the World Cup. But for this series, I think Pakistan has better idea of where they're going with it.
yeah,
Now, if Pakistan gets stuck with green pitches, again, we got a good pace attack. Like you said,
yeah,
middle overs, if we
yeah,
do proper selection. And now with Azam Khan coming in with a little bit more oomph, I think the
yeah.
Pakistan is looking better. Now, that does have a caveat to it. If Rizwan is sitting out because of his, niggles again, then I don't think Pakistan can go 3-0. But if they, I think there's going to be some sort of fireworks. Pakistan will take this 3-0.
Who would be your first 11 for the first game? Name
Saim,
your 11. Okay.
Saim, Rizwan, Babar, Usman, Azam, Shadab, Imad, uh, Shaheen, Amir, and Naseem. I think there might be, and Ifti Chachu. That should be 11. I don't know if I went one more, but
Yeah, yeah,
that's what I would put us I would pretty much take out Fakr for Usman.
yeah. I would give Azam Khan all three games. Like, this is your chance
Yeah,
against England.
yeah.
That's
That's
it.
it.
Like, this is
You
it.
know,
Like, prove it. If not, then you know what?
then we'll
Maybe give
move
him a.
on and we'll come back to you
Yeah,
later. Simple as that. Because
exactly. We'll move
you're
on. Yeah,
taking Usman
yeah.
Khan's spot.
Osman Khan and Azam Khan are the two guys that should get all three games against England. This is your
I
best
agree.
opportunity, and this is good for Pakistan right before the World Cup. Right, you're gonna
I
you're gonna
agree.
go against a championship caliber team to kind of see where you start, and then you're gonna be ready to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
All right. So
All
that's
right,
all
buddy.
we have for you guys for this episode. Clearly, Danish needs to take a nap now or go to sleep for a while, but
Long day.
we'll be back. We got kids, we got lives, so we try to do as many episodes as we can by every week. But I hope you guys enjoy. Please hit the like and subscribe button and help this channel grow. यार तू अपने गाँव पाकिस्तान में भेजना थोड़े लोगों को अपने
चलो
links.
देखते हैं चलिए
Anyways,
देखते हैं
that's all we
Yeah,
have. Thank you guys.
yeah.
Allah Hafiz.
Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.